Welcome to the NFL Divisional Weekend. Great first week of the playoffs, guys. The 6 games that we had last weekend, I played 5 of them. I gave out 4 here on my video last week. I took Seattle. Looked good in the first half. They fell apart in the second half. Took Jacksonville on the money line. They came through. I took Baltimore against the spread. Took Dallas against the spread. Those 2 came through. I made a late pick taking Minnesota on a short line, and they obviously did not come through, and I passed on the Miami-Buffalo game. So it was a 3-2 wildcard weekend. Season total is now 49-32, so having a really good year. Now we head into the divisional week, and we get 4 great matchups here. 3 NFC East teams still alive. We have a divisional game this week, Cincinnati and Buffalo playing. It's going to be 2 historical franchises in Dallas and San Francisco, so it's going to be a good week of football. Last week was good. The books did pretty good. So, one downside to them last week was the 3-team money line parlay with San Francisco, Cincinnati, and Buffalo. That all hit. That was a pretty common bet last week. But a lot of public money was on Tampa Bay. Actually, sharp and public. A lot of Bucks money last week. So Dallas coming through was big for the books. Baltimore coming through was big for the books. Cincinnati was a very public side last week. Teasers kind of got screwed up as well. A lot of people teased Cincinnati down. They didn't cover. Some people even used a 10-point teaser. There was a lot of money there. Taking Buffalo down. They didn't cover. San Francisco did cover in the teaser spot easily. Jacksonville in a great comeback. You can call that a lucky win, but -5 turnover differential. So hard to say if it was lucky or not. I just think the Chargers were, did what the Chargers always do, and that's they can't finish games. This franchise has been doing this for years. Just not a clutch franchise. I said in the video last week that one of the home dogs, Jacksonville or Tampa Bay, were going to win. And I trusted Dallas on the road as a favorite more than the Chargers, and that's what happened. Dallas was probably my favorite play for sure of the week. One of my favorite plays of the year. I gave it out Monday as my to the Patreon as my bet. I was gonna make a video Monday, pretty much making this video Monday, saying that the Niners would be playing the Cowboys because I was that sure that the Cowboys were going to beat Tampa Bay, and I was already going to delve into this week's game at that time and just assume Dallas was going to win and play San Francisco. But it was early in the week. I didn't have all my plays done yet. So, but this is, we're here now. I'm definitely going to go through the 4 games this weekend, give you my opinion. Sign up to the Patreon, guys, because I'm going to give out my official plays probably a little bit later in the week. But I'll definitely give you, an idea of who I like today. Now, whether or not I bet them is a different story, but I'll tell you who I like. So first game, Jacksonville and Kansas City. Kansas City is an 8.5-point favorite. This game is one I don't have a strong opinion on. If anything, I like Kansas City first half. You can see -5 in the first half. And that's where I would lean. I think the Chiefs will get off to a fast start. Andy Reid off a bye week. He keeps his foot on the gas, and Kansas City, their issue is they don't cover big spreads, and that's why the full game at 8.5, 9 points is a little worrisome. Jacksonville has played good. They haven't quit. They believe in themselves. And KC doesn't cover big spreads. So it's hard to pick full game. If I'm picking full game, I actually lean Jacksonville at plus the points. But I think a first half bet taking the Chiefs is a better bet. The Chiefs just come out, I think, flying. This is what they play all year for. The season to the Chiefs is more like, exhibition games. They play for the playoffs. They play for this moment here. They're looking to get to their 5th straight AFC Championship game. It's gonna be tough for the Jags. This is obviously the biggest, or the more lopsided game of the week. So I do lean Jacksonville plus the points, but I'm not going to be playing this game. I would lean Chiefs first half. Next game, Giants and the Eagles. Eagles 7.5-point favorite. I like Philadelphia minus 7.5. I know the Giants will probably be the most public team of the week. Hard to, blame those bettors because, it's a divisional game. You're getting 7 in the hook. This line opened at 6.5. I wish I would have got Philadelphia at 6.5, even at -7. 7 in the hook kind of sucks because, it's backdoor cover. There's a lot of possibilities at 7 in the hook. You're not really getting the best of the number at that point. But I think Philadelphia wins this game by double digits. I don't think it's that close. We see this in the wild card round a lot, where a team looks good in the wild card, comes in the divisional game, and it's a huge step up in class playing Philadelphia. And then you get rolled, right? You lose by 2 touchdowns, 17 points, something like that. Like, the divisional week is typically the week where you see some blowouts. Having said that, last year's divisional weekend was amazing. Like, every game was a 1-score game. It was a Kansas City Buffalo game, the Tampa Bay Rams game, the Cincinnati Tennessee game, I believe. Like, there were some Dallas and San Francisco game. Those games were amazing last year. I think we see a blowout somewhere here. Like, someone is going to cover the big spread between KC and Philly. I think it's Philadelphia. Hurts hasn't played in a while. There's you always have concerns. My concern for Philadelphia is they haven't really played any meaningful football in a while. Hurts hasn't played in a long time. The Giants, we've seen New York as a franchise do this before, make Super Bowl runs as a road divisional or a road wild card team. They make runs, and we've seen Philadelphia as a 1 seed before go down. So that is concerning a little bit. Philly's rush defense concerns me a little bit as well. If they can contain Barkley, I think they'll be fine, but that is a concern. But, other than that, there's a lot more to like about Philadelphia. The Giants, and Daniel Jones is not going to be able to do what he did last week against Minnesota. Minnesota was clearly the wrong side last week. Those receivers were so wide open for Jones. It was like catch, and Slayton would have 15, 20 yards of no one in sight. We knew Minnesota was fraudulent all year. We knew they were the worst, one of the worst 13, 14 win teams, whatever they were. Philly's defense is a lot more stout than that. I think he's going to have a harder time. And I think Hurts, even though he hasn't played in a while, I think he gets off to a good start. I like the Eagles. Lay the 7+ points here. I think they win by a couple of scores. Next game, Cincinnati at Buffalo. Buffalo's laying anywhere from 4 to 5 points, depending on where you're looking. Potentially the game of the week. I think Dallas and San Francisco would actually be the game of the week. But this line, when it opened up, I think it probably surprised a lot of people. These two teams were obviously supposed to play a couple of weeks ago, and that game was pretty much a pick-em. Buffalo -1 in some spots, and now you're seeing Buffalo -4, 4.5, 5. So why the 4-point swing in just a couple of weeks? The teams haven't changed at all, really. The game is in Buffalo this time, but it's hard to justify that much of a swing in the spread. Having said that, you better believe that the public will be betting Cincinnati. They're going to look at, again, recency bias is huge. That's why people will like the Giants. Giants looked really, really good. Philadelphia, are they healthy? Divisional game, 7 in the hook. Give me the Giants, right? Cincinnati and Buffalo. Buffalo barely beat Miami. Cincinnati and Buffalo, they're, maybe a field goal difference. 5 points? Give me Cincinnati +5. I like Buffalo -5. And this is honestly probably my favorite pick of the week, guys. So, you want a pick of the week. Last week it was Dallas. This week it's Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins this game by double digits. So I'll take, whether you want 4, 4.5, or 5, they're dead numbers. Whatever it is, take it. I like Buffalo to win by, like I said, more than at least a touchdown, but probably by double digits in this game. Cincinnati, I know they've been dealing with this for forever, but their offensive line continues to be injured. I think Buffalo in this game is going to be all over Burrow, and they better be, because the Bengals are loaded at receiver. And the Bills secondary has looked suspect, but I can't overlook the Bengals offensive line issues. And on the other side, Josh Allen and the Bills played a sloppy game last week. Fortunate to win that game against a third-string quarterback. But I like teams that when they play very bad, find ways to win in the playoffs, especially. I like quarterbacks in teams like that where you're like, what the heck is going on? They came in probably overlooking Miami. They still got the win. I like betting those teams the next week because you better believe 100% they're going to give their full effort in this game. And I think Buffalo plays one of their better games of the year against Cincinnati. So in the playoffs, it kind of factors into this game and the Giants game. Don't always look at the team that played great and all of a sudden back on the next week, and don't all of a sudden fade a team that didn't look that great because they might look just that great the following week. I like the Bills here. A lot of reasons to like them. Take the Buffalo Bills. Last game is Dallas and San Francisco. This line's 3.5. I thought it was a little bit short. I thought it should have been around 5 to 6 points, but Dallas won easily against Tampa Bay, and maybe it knocked off a couple points. I don't know. It was a bit of a short line. I don't know if they're baiting people to take San Francisco because it's a short line and all this stuff. Dallas always gets money. So I don't know. I'm guessing if I had to look at these games, Jacksonville, Kansas City, I don't know. I know the Giants will be public, and I know Cincinnati will be public. I don't know this one. I'm guessing San Francisco will be. I'll get those numbers probably by Friday on who's the most public plays, and I can post them here or whatever and let you guys know. But this game to me, I mean, this is a tough one to handicap. We know both these defenses are like top 5. And both offenses, San Francisco's offense has been rolling for a while now. Dallas, a little inconsistent. Dallas can score 50 against anybody. Apparently they can't kick extra points. And then there's games where Dak looks horrible. So you really don't know. Dallas's offense is inconsistent. San Francisco has looked very consistent. Their play calling is better than Dallas's. They have a better coach than Dallas. They probably have more rounded team than Dallas. They're at home. You get all these things. I'm sure it's all baked into the line anyway. I like the Cowboys here. I'm taking them plus the points. You can sprinkle some on the money line. And my reason is this. Purdy, he's looked great. He hasn't played against a really tough defense this year. Seattle's defense, I mean, it doesn't get much easier than that. A lot of those guys were wide open, and he missed some wide open guys. San Francisco left points on the board last week against Seattle. I think as long as Dallas's defense plays up to their capabilities and has that pass rush and gets Parsons after Purdy and can stop the running game, the Cowboys will be okay. This game for Dallas to win needs to stay under. I think the total is about 46. If this game goes over, Dallas is in trouble because if San Francisco's offense gets rolling, gets into rhythm, Kyle Shanahan, he's like a shark that smells blood. Once they get going, it's very hard to stop him. He throws a lot of schemes at you, puts players everywhere. It's things that you haven't seen. It can really confuse a defense. But if you can control the game, stop the running game, control McCaffrey, I know it's a big task, but if you can do that and put pressure on Purdy and get San Francisco to punt a few times in that first half, Dallas is live, 100% live to win this game, but I think it has to stay under the 46. You have to expect a lower scoring game. This total was kind of weird to me anyway. I mean, Dallas and Seattle were like, that total was like 42, right? And now you have Dallas coming in, and this line opened at the beginning, I think it was around 45, and I'm like, I mean, Dallas is a legit defense. Seattle's defense, like I said, it doesn't get worse than that. I mean, I don't know how that total and this total are somewhat similar when you have polar opposites in defense. You expect this game to be a little bit lower scoring, and you expect some unders to hit this week because I believe last week the overs hit in 5 of the 6 games. I think the only game that the over didn't hit, if I'm not mistaken, was the Dallas and Tampa Bay game. And it only missed because of those 4 extra points that were missed. Otherwise, the overs would have hit 6 for 6. I mean, there were 61 points in the Jacksonville game, a ton of points in San Francisco, a ton of points Buffalo, Miami. Those went over 60. The Giants in Minnesota went over. The Bengals and I think even the Bengals and Ravens went over. So, yeah, I mean, you expect Vegas to bump the points up a couple just because some unders are going to hit here eventually. But I think this has to stay under for Dallas to cover or win. The other interesting handicap here is I forget the referee's name, but the crew that's refereeing this game between Dallas and San Francisco calls like the second or the fewest penalties in terms of pass interference, holdings, roughing the passer penalty, like penalties that extend drives for the offense. They don't call a lot of those penalties. So it's usually a pretty clean game. Also, 60% of the time, unders have hit with this referee crew. So it's more of a defensive game. Like if you're going to score, you're going to have to earn these points. They're not going to give free flags and extend these freaking drives because of 5-yard illegal contact penalties and all that BS. I think this game stays lower. I like Dallas plus the points. You can sprinkle some on the money line, and there you have it, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, join the Patreon, especially if you want my official plays later in this week and for next week, because this could be my last video of the year. It's only going to be 2 games next week. I'm probably not going to make a video for that. I might just give out plays to the patrons, and then Super Bowl. I might do a video for Super Bowl, but it's really just going to be props. I do that every year. But this is like the last real week of games. So guys, thank you for a great year. If I don't do another video, I probably will in the Super Bowl, but you're able to double the subscribers. We had another great season. Over 60% for the, again this season, 60% for the last 3 years combined against the spread. So it's been a really profitable last few years. And thanks for all your support. Again, join the Patreon, and good luck this week, guys. Should be a fun week of games.